Everybody, we're about to go
Morning.
You're
live.
live.
We
Oh,
are live. Welcome everybody to our daily success
hello,
call
everyone.
for Thursday, May 14th, 2020. John Lavenia here with you. Welcome to all of our brand new members. I'm just making sure the YouTube thing does its thing before
You're live. You're on.
Okay, Jackie, and hold on just a second, guys. No technical difficulties. Hold on. Yes. All right, good. Here we go. So there's oh my goodness, there's Jackie, there's Esther. Hi, Esther. Good to see you. Of course, Gail's here. Welcome, Elaine, Pete, Christine, Mary, Heather, Rusnita's here. Hey, Melissa. There's Candy with a really cool background. Look at that, Candy. Mark in the UK. Heather, welcome. Also, Mark in Northern California, Janet, Darren, and Mary, and everybody else. We're going to go ahead and get this show on the road. I'm going to mute all the microphones because Nicole's phone is ringing. We can't hear her, but we can see her phone. So there's that. Today, are you guys ready to have a good conversation about time management? I know this is a popular topic that we sort of ended on yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and mute your microphone again, those who just unmuted. And then and we're going to have a discussion about this. I'm going to give you a couple of ideas, I think overlying ideas that will hopefully shape the direction of your what actions you want to take to actually implement these ideas, because it really comes down to well, I've heard it said like this: time management is a misnomer. Nobody can manage time. We all have the same 24 hours. You have no cause over that. You actually manage activities. And I guess just with that one distinction, where we're going from time management to activity management, that kind of puts us back in the driver's seat, which is where you want to be. Right. A lot of times, I know we've had conversations here in this forum and privately with sessions I've had with some of you where we talk about really the law of laws, according to Ralph Emerson, was cause and effect, right? Cause and effect. That's it. So if we're going to be effective, we've got to be cause. So the whole idea that I think we kind of touched on yesterday was avoiding overwhelm and avoiding the idea that you want to be here, but right now you're here, and the frustration, kind of like the stretching of the rubber band to the point where it could snap because we've got this intent and we've got all the stuff that we can and should be learning to get where we want to go in our lives, and yet we've got to keep the lights on, right? We had this conversation yesterday. We got to be responsible and feed our children and do whatever it is that we've got to do based on prior obligations prior to showing up here. So how do we manage that? How do we reconcile the drive, the intent, the pressure, and at the same time not destroy ourselves in the process? And I will offer you this, and then of course we're going to open it up and we're going to get your thoughts on it. The biggest time suck that I have ever experienced in my life, multiple times daily, if I'm not constantly vigilant, okay, if I'm not constantly guarding against this, the biggest thing that destroys productivity and eats up time, indecision. What should I do? Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do that. I don't necessarily verbally hear myself saying that, but if I'm not moving, if my feet aren't moving, that means I haven't decided. To decide but not to act means to not have decided. Now, a lot of people piss away enormous amounts of time in constant deliberation with themselves, never quite coming to a conclusion about what they should do. Now, I've heard the late Steve Covey say that which matters most should never be at the mercy of that which matters least. So we can go down a couple different roads here. One road would be prioritization, and the other would be scheduling. Okay, so prioritization and scheduling, those two have to go together. I'm going to give you a concept here, two concepts that I think you could take and work into whatever calendar system you like to use. I know I demonstrated the one that I use. I just use Apple Calendar, iCal, or whatever it's called. It's built into the operating system on a Mac. You can use Google Calendars. You can use Outlook, Microsoft Office. You can use a Franklin Covey journal, piece of paper, whatever, right? As long as you're creating order. Okay, so decisions and order go together. All success is orderly. So if we're going to get stuff done, we've got to decide to get it done, and we'll know that we decided because we'll see our feet moving. Okay, first let's talk about prioritization. You've got a reason for being here. You've got ambitions, you've got intentions, you've got purposes, which you'd like to more fully express in your life. You'd like to provide a better lifestyle for yourself, for your family. You'd like additional financial liberty, right? To buy stuff and to live a lifestyle. You'd like maybe some more time freedom. Okay. Not to mention location freedom. We have this conversation a lot. My goodness, we could do business anywhere. Here we are on the internet. Guys, I've made millions of dollars working with people over the internet that I've never met in person. Right. I mean, I kind of, like a lot of you here, I know you guys, you're like family. Okay. Some of you new members, you'll see as you kind of immerse yourself in the community. Oh yeah, there's Jackie. Oh, hey, right. Here's Nida. Right. Hi, Nicole. Right. So we know each other. Okay. And yet we could do this from anywhere. All right. So you being able to have that experience is one of the reasons that you're here, being able to do business from anywhere and all that. So that's a priority. Okay. Now, when we think about prioritization, we're thinking about sacrificing things of a lower nature to gain things of a higher nature. The average American watches 5 hours of television a day. All right. So there's, I guess we could say, a baseline of, here's a glaringly obvious example of, ineffective use of time. Okay. Poor prioritization. The way Covey talked about it, he put it into 4 quadrants. And not that we've all read this book, okay, but I've read it multiple times. It's called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's a bit more intense than the 5 that I recommended for you guys to start with, okay? Once you're through those 5, grab 7 Habits and grab Think and Grow Rich. But there's 4 quadrants, and they're based on importances and urgencies. So the first quadrant would be important and urgent, okay? So this is a priority. This has to get done now. The second quadrant would be important but not urgent. Right? So no, we don't have to put out a fire right now, but this is something that's going to help me reach my goals. That's important. Okay. The third quadrant would be urgent, but not important, right? That's everyone else's agenda for you that day. Right. So these are things that can either be, delegated or, we've got some spontaneity. Let's handle urgencies, but if they're not important, how much time do you really want to give to crisis management? Constantly in crisis management. No. So that third quadrant's real dangerous. The fourth quadrant is a waste of time. That's not important and not urgent. So we've got important and urgent, important and not urgent. That's where you want to spend more time. Number 2, not important, but urgent. You want to get rid of that. And then not important and not urgent. Well, let's go play video games or something. I don't think so, right? So that's the 5 hours of TV a day. So where do we, as on-purpose people, where do we spend most of our time? In things that are important to us. So we're prioritizing these things. Now, it'd be a good idea to write these things down as if they're roles that you have in your life. This is my role. I am a husband. I am a father. I'm a business consultant. I am a marketer. What else? I am the steward of a body, right? So I need to exercise the body. That's one of my roles, right? As an individual, fill in the blanks with whatever the titles are, but decide what your roles are in your life. And then now at this point, we've at least got some distinction between who we are, like who we intend to be, and who we don't intend to be. One of my roles is not astronaut, right? I spend exactly no time thinking about, the intricacies of space travel, like exactly none. Okay, great. Thank you. So that has been prioritized way, way, way down. I may check out nasa.gov or whatever here and there and check out some pictures of, Jupiter. Fun, curiosa, right? Nice. Okay, great. Does that affect my life? No, that's kind of like watching TV. All right. So yes, we deserve a little reprieve as well. But these are my roles in my life. Now, what actions are necessary to fulfill those roles? For example, as a business consultant, I host a call every day. It's called the Daily Success Call. I got hundreds of people. We get together. It's awesome. These people are great. We get to have conversations, and we get to, I get reminders out of it all the time. I get all these ideas from people. They think I'm helping them. They're helping me. So we're doing that right now, by the way, right? That's one of the tasks that help me fulfill my role and my purpose as whatever my title is here, director of success, right? You guys know I'm not attached to title. Call me the head janitor. I don't care. Okay, I'm interested in the result. I'm not married to the title. So the result, in my case, as a business consultant, is you happy and successful making money on Amazon. That's my product. Okay, so I've got a role to fulfill there. Because that's a priority, it will then it will then subordinate other things that are not on purpose, as on purpose as that is. You guys know I've never, ever missed this, never even been 1 minute late. Okay, so this is how I manage time. Okay, or manage activities within time, because we all got the same time. So that's just one example. So now I've identified that as important based on the roles that I've chosen for myself. Nobody held a gun to my head, John, you got to go work with these blue sky people, right? That's something I chose. All right, good. I've got another role. It's called father, right? So I've got a 9-year-old daughter, right? There are things that I do that are priorities to be a good father, in my view. Okay, and hopefully I am. Now we get to, now that we've got some priorities, now that we know who we are and who we're not, right? Part of being responsible is knowing what you're not responsible for, right? If NASA crashes a rocket ship, not responsible. Okay, so that's part of being responsible, is knowing what you're not responsible for. Great. So so now we get into we get into scheduling. So we got priorities, okay, and we got scheduling. There's two ways that you can schedule stuff based on your priorities. Number one would be a simple list of priorities. Let's say you're a full-time entrepreneur, okay? You've got no job to report to, you've got no manager, you are 100% autonomous in terms of how you spend your time. And you're going to spend it, we all do. So this was an idea that was given to Charles Schwab, the Charles Schwab, by a guy named Ivy Lee. And he came to Schwab. Schwab, of course, started Bethlehem Steel. He was, an investor guy, J.P. Morgan, Andrew Carnegie, back in the industrial age. And he said, Mr. Schwab, I've got this idea to improve productivity in your business. And Schwab said, great, give me the idea. I'll pay whatever I think it's worth. And, we'll give it a shot. He said, here's what you do, Mr. Schwab. You write down everything, all your tasks for the following day that you need to get done. And then you number them in priority, number them in rank with importance, number one, number two, et cetera, et cetera. He said, now tomorrow when you come into your office, do number one and don't go on to number two until number one is complete. And then do number two, same story. Then number three, finish each item before you go to the next item. Don't multitask. A couple months went by, Charles Schwab sent Ivy Lee a letter. In the letter, it said, from a business perspective and productivity, this is the best I've ever seen. Here's a check for $20,000. And that's when $20,000 meant something. Okay, that wasn't a cab ride through London. Okay, that was a big deal back then, 20 grand. So I know we have our cab driver friend here. So yeah, that's what it seems like. Last time I was in London, just looking at one of those black cabs, it was like, you better mortgage your house or something. But anyway, those of you who haven't traveled in London, you may not get the joke. But the idea here is that we're getting stuff done. We're not attempting to multitask. And now we got all these undones. So the anatomy of success itself is completing what you start. Therefore, the anatomy of failure would be not completing what you start or not starting in the first place. So number one, got done. Done is my favorite 4-letter word, guys. I love it. So there's that. Now, when it comes to knowing what to do, we just wrote it down. So we've got that so-called schedule. There's time flexibility on there. And the downside to that method, I'll tell you what the downside to Ivy Lee's method is. The downside is that work expands to fill the time allowed for it. That's the downside. So if I just focus on number one and I get all engrossed in it and I'm a perfectionist and, it's got to be just right and blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? Number two gets pushed off indefinitely, in an indefinite amount of time. Hopefully not too long. Okay. It will end eventually. Something will happen, but work expands to fill the time allowed for it. So now what? There's another way to do this. So in addition to the prioritization list of the on-purpose actions that we know we're going to do because they're important, there is scheduling. So again, I'll look at my calendar or my day planner or whatever you use. I know to be here. I know what time it starts. I've got no question about that. The decision's already made. I don't have to sit here and deliberate. What should I do? Shouldn't I do? I don't know. No, I do know. I do. I know. I don't think. I don't hope. I don't believe. I know. Right? So that is a known thing. If it's not written on my calendar, I don't know it. There have been times where because my wife and I run a couple businesses, and she's made an appointment. I wasn't aware of the appointment. It's not on my calendar. It doesn't exist. If it's not on my calendar, it doesn't exist. So that's part of the compartmentalization between, what, because I've only got so much attention to put on stuff. So right now, 100% of my attention is on this event, this occurrence, this action. Okay, 0 of my attention is on things that I don't know, because I choose to not know them. Right. That's part of being sane. That's part of, like with the whole reticular activating system. We've taken all this information, we're filtering most of it out. You get it? So there's always going to be impingements on your attention. You've got to be able to choose. Here's what's real. Here's what I've decided for myself. Here's the decision that I've made, to the exclusion of almost everything else. Now, if the house was on fire, eventually I would smell the smoke. At first, probably not. I would think, you know what? Somebody's got a campfire going. It's Arizona, man. The Old West. That's great. Got some beef jerky over there. So no, I know people who have sat through earthquakes. They're in earthquakes. They're in a sales meeting. They're having a conversation, and it's conversation time, and there's an earthquake, and they didn't even notice. Like, for real, they didn't even notice. So that's the kind of focus, right? But if it isn't written, it isn't true. So in either way, either we're making the list, like Ivy Lee talked about, or we're doing the calendar thing. Okay, if it isn't written, it isn't true. That is an approach that you could take. Now, you're already busy. I get it. Here's the question. Back to Covey's quadrants: urgent and important. Important but not urgent. That's where we want it. That's where we grow. Okay, not putting out fires, but that's where we grow. On purpose action that can be done now, can be done later. What we're looking to do is bring those could be done laters into the now, bring them closer. So what can we cut out? Remember, sacrificing something of a lower nature to gain something of a higher nature. I'm here to make progress, not to be comfortable. I know balance in life is a big thing for everybody. That comes, okay, not at the outset. We're launching this rocket here. It's 100% throttle. There's nothing comfortable or reasonable about this. Please don't accuse me of being reasonable. Okay. So what are we going to do? What are we going to cut out? Fortunately, for many of us, we've been doing whatever you've been doing to survive up to this point so repetitively that it's practically on autopilot. It's like driving the car, right? You just drive the car. You don't have to put a whole lot of thought into it. Hopefully you're looking outside the windshield and you're seeing what's happening and you're attentive. Okay. But it's not like you're struggling to operate the machine. It's like the machine is part of you. You're not introverting on the machine. You're extroverting outside of the machine. Look at the world that I'm traveling through right now. That's the way you want to experience life. Okay. So anything you can put on autopilot or create an automaticity out of it. And you do, whether you know it or not, right? Just like the people who are watching 5 hours of television a day, that's an automaticity. That's a habit. And right there is the magic word: habit. Habit. So sometimes people think, well, I need to be Hercules here. I need to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Where's my cape and mask? Wrong answer. Big success, big exponential increases in your productivity and profitability and fitness and whatever, they don't come through big Herculean efforts. They come through habits. Little incremental increases. Next thing you know, you're at the top of the mountain. Next thing you know, people are saying you're special because your life works, man. Look at you. Wow. And all you did was got consistent to the point where you don't even have to think about it anymore. Just like driving the car. You just keep showing up and you keep doing the right thing. And you get better, stronger, faster, competent, speed, right? All of that. The next thing you know, you're like, wow. Okay. So habits beat heroics. That's how we manage time. We get into habits. I do not want to put my body in pain every day, but I do it anyway. And I do it so consistently, I don't even have to think about it. Now, I know you guys, I'm talking about exercise here. I know you guys had this conversation with us just a day or two ago, where I had celebrated a win with you, that I hit 50 push-ups straight without any rest, which I could normally do easily. It's fine. But I had gotten off course with that, right? Because the gym is closed. Usually I'm in the gym, I'm doing it. Now I got to actually think, oh my goodness, I actually have to think. I have to make a decision about what kind of exercise am I going to do. Well, maybe I could do this one. Well, maybe I could do that one. You know what? Oh, hold on a second. Let me research more exercises. The whole gravity thing, plyometrics, and You see what just happened? Indecision. The amount of time I just spent thinking about whether I should or shouldn't do push-ups, I could have done 50 push-ups. See that? Indecision. Indecision. That is the enemy of success right there. So when I have a habit, I don't have to decide anymore. It's already decided. And look, my feet are moving. It's happening. Magic, magic, baby. Does that make me special or something? Does that make you special because you've got some successful habits in your life? Look, give yourself credit for that. Now, what else can we make habitual and put on autopilot so you don't have to think about it so much? And what else can we delegate or eliminate and sacrifice and abandon and forsake for the purpose of this goal, this ideal that you've decided for yourself, this on purpose living and result that you are here to attain? Guess what? You're going to knock some stuff off your calendar. There's white space on your calendar. What's that white space going to get filled with? Tell you what, white space is indecision. That's what that is. White space is indecision. And not you don't deserve a break, but I'll tell you what, schedule the break. You know what I'm putting on my calendar today? Put ass on motorcycle and ride. That's what I'm putting on my calendar today because it is perfect weather here in Arizona. And I haven't even seen my Harley. I mean, I got the desert right there. I got the desert, baby. I'm going to go experience some of it. And I could be as socially distant as anybody on my motorcycle riding through the desert. But the point is that if it's not on my calendar, it isn't true. It isn't real. It's not going to happen. But I got to go get some fresh air because I've been staring at this computer screen way too much. And the results are good too. Don't get me wrong. Okay. Don't get me wrong. You make hay while the sun is shining. Okay. Right now we've got this massive explosion here in like the online business world, e-commerce. We got so many new members here. Is that just by chance or luck? No, there's an idea that's time has come, right? I think it's pretty self-evident at this point. E-commerce is the future, and that's why you guys are here. So great, we got to put a little overtime in. Okay, it's been a lot of overtime lately, and you know what? It's just the way I like it. But you also deserve a break. Okay, so schedule that in as well. Even if it's just walking down the street looking at trees or something, get objective. Go dig a ditch, or I don't know. Play with your dog, or what are the plants? Pull the weeds. Do something, not thinking. Okay, just touching stuff. It's very therapeutic, by the way. Guys, I've been talking for 22 minutes. I hope you got some ideas out of this. I want to hear from you. How can you implement this stuff? What are ideas? Maybe I didn't say something that John, I got something that's working for me. Please share it. I'm not your guru. Come on out and let me know. You know what? We're going to go right to our favorite cab driver, Mr. Pete Christine.
Hey. Thank you, John. John, I've got to say, the last 23 minutes has been absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. What you've said there has hit the nail on the head, I think, for all of us here. I think I can speak to all of us and say, yeah, that was absolutely brilliant, that was. And getting up, and we've just gone on to another book, and we're now doing Karen and Paul, who we speak to sometimes. Karen says she does 30 minutes every day of reading. She listens to an audio book 30 minutes every day. And if you do that every day, you'll get through a book easily a week, really. So we've just finished the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins, which was absolutely brilliant. So that thing about what you're saying about indecision doesn't get you anywhere. You know, thinking about it too long. So if you do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which Mel Robbins teaches, once you get to 1, bang, you're on it. You're doing it. And whether that's exercise, meditation, product research, whatever it is, you're on it and you're doing it. We just got to really work out the things about the urgent but not important, and basically the waste of time. So we don't waste a lot of time, I don't think, anyway. But no, it's all good.
I'm not sure if Christine is agreeing with you, Peter. She doesn't look like it.
No, we don't waste time.
No, we don't waste time. We get on with things, but we do get sidetracked. So we need to sort of, you know, concentrate on that number one thing, get it done in big capital letters, get it done, and then move on to the next thing and not get sidetracked. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. But absolutely brilliant, John. Thank you.
Thank you, Pete and Christine. So glad you're here. And wow, it's gotten great to get to know you guys over the last month or two you've been here with us. So thank you.
John.
About 2 months now, John. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Mark.
John, hey, John, right, okay, I agree with what you say, okay, 100%, but sometimes you have to take a step back. So running lorries around the country, decisions have to be made, but they can't be made. So sometimes you have to just take a step back and have a think about what decision you make and what you're about to say and what the implications will be, not so much getting the job done, but on everybody else. For example, is that lorry going to get home tonight? Is that warehouse going to stay open for him? Is that driver blah, blah, blah? So sometimes I do 99% agree what you're saying, but sometimes you just can't make, I'm not going to say a knee-jerk reaction, but you have to just take stock of all the scenarios around you and just deep breath, walk away from it, come back, right, now this should work. And then sometimes doing haulage, it doesn't always, but you know, so there you go. So I agree with what you're saying. I agree pretty much.
Well, everything you just said is in total agreement. That's on purpose action. That's something you decided to do. We're going to get the lorries where they need to go. That's one of your roles that you've taken a step back and decided, oh, that's my role to get that done. Exactly. We're talking about the same thing.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Heather, what's up, Heather?
I just wanted to tag along with what Pete and Christine were saying. I've been here for probably about 6 or 7 weeks now. And at the very beginning, I was just like, you know, I was I'd come one day and then not come for a day or two or whatever. And I just found that it was very disjointed. But when I made the decision that this hour was important to me and that it was going to be part of my day and it was going to be a habit, I found that I was much better at focusing on the other things that come along with it, like the reading, like, you know, doing the product research and that sort of stuff. And I've got much better at sort of compartmentalizing what needs to be done as opposed to trying to do everything at once and then just exhausting myself. So, because I still have 2 other businesses that I run from home online, besides getting this one started and off the ground. And I still, even though this has put a lot on my plate, I'm still done at 5:30 every day. So I must be able, I feel accomplished because I've been able to prioritize and get things done and make decisions that better than I did before I started the course.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, you know, listening to you, reading the books, listening to the other people that are on here that are so supportive and, you know, just so give me all that energy to do what we do, that it's really been very helpful, very helpful. And I say that to the new people who I know you all feel overwhelmed, and anybody who's been here more than a couple of months will tell you we've all been there. But just take it one day at a time, make this call a habit, and you will get there.
Thank you, Heather. And it's so good to get to know you as well over the last couple months. Thank you for that. I see Kelly and Adrian and anybody else. Come on out. Obi. Hey, Obi.
Yes. Today I've been here for almost like 2 weeks now, but today I think it was the best presentation that you have ever made since I came here, John.
Oh, I'll take it. Yeah, shower me with love. Send me gifts and stuff.
Yeah, but it's all about time management. So I wanted to share with my friends across the globe there my time management, how it's working for me now, because at the moment 2 months ago I've been forced to get out of the 9-to-5 job. COVID forced me out of it. I had no choice. I was laid off. I'm a diesel plant fitter in the railways. I've been on trains for 35 years, and I've been doing that for a long time. But now I've been laid off because of the COVID 19. But I've been doing Amazon part-time for almost like 4 to 5 years. So now I have to manage my time. Amazon is not the only business that I'm doing online. I'm trading as well online. So when I trade, I must wake up between 6 and 8 to place my trades, to go to Forex and check all the news around the world, what's going on, so that I can put on my trades. Then thereafter, if I put my trades at 8 o'clock, I start the Amazon business now, I look at all the complaints or what happened overnight and respond to my customers. I check my emails. Then I start to look for products, maybe around 10 to 12. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So it's all about time management. And I truly believe what you are saying. And you must make it, you must make it a habit to repeat your time sets. I've bought a book called Things to Do. So every day I've got things to do. So I feel those things to do, and I try to follow them up. And now most of them, they're now a habit. I don't even have to go to that book now. I've got to do it over and over until it becomes a skill. Thank you.
Thank you, Obi. Good insights there. So he's getting it done. He's got a specific schedule. That's what we're talking about here. Kelly, what do you think? Kelly
After
Irwin?
yesterday, thank you, John. After yesterday, I was so excited that I got on a couple of YouTube videos on time management about calendars. So with time blocks, and they were very informative. I checked out a couple of different theories. They were all pretty consistent with each other. And it was great about how they addressed the fact that you would block out your time. Like you said, if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't get done, or it's not a part of your life. And they prioritize, and you look at a couple and see what works for you. But I found it extremely informative for watching 5-10 minutes of these videos here and there. And it was great. And it supported all this. And I was ready for the meeting today.
Beautiful.
Thank
Look at you. Look at that smile, everybody. There's a smile. Hey, Ian, what do you think?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Do you ever sleep, John?
Yeah, it's just one of those inconveniences of having a body. Food and sleep are like, yeah, they got to happen. But you do.
Yes, yeah, it's good. I mean, interesting what you're telling us, and like you're saying, I think with this game, with Amazon especially, I think you can keep going around in circles, not making decisions. And I think it, like you say, act today, not tomorrow, sort of thing. Yeah, so no, it's good. It's all good.
Very good. Thank you so much. Is Adrian Worsley here? Where's Adrian?
Yeah, hi. Can you see me or can you hear me?
There he is.
Thanks, John. I'm week 3 now, so things are going quite well. Week 3 with you anyway, John, week 5 on the program. Just picking up a point that Mark mentioned earlier on about making a decision. I think there are times when you know you make a decision to make the decision when you've got more information. You don't force yourself to make a decision, but you're still actually making a decision at that moment. You're just deciding to make the final decision when you've got the full information. That's the point I'm making. I think that's what Mark's saying as well. That's what I found in my experience. Because if you rush things, you know, and there are other things in decisions wise that stand well. When I employed people, I knew on a Friday afternoon if someone was hanging around with an envelope that they might be moving somewhere else. And I also knew that if ever I offered people more money at that moment, then I'd have a queue every Friday afternoon of people wanting to hand the notice in. So the smart move was to look after your good people all the time without having to wait for a problem and understand their issues. And the people that you weren't worried about, they can queue as long as they like on a Friday. And that's what's worked well for me. So thanks for that, and appreciate that, Mark, too.
Thank you, brother. Glad you're here. Good distinctions. I see a bunch of people with their mics unmuted. I also see Jerry with his hand up. Come on out, you guys. Who's next?
Yeah, hi, John. It's Jerry here.
Hey, Jerry.
John, yeah, this is with COVID-19 and having to close my business. I found structuring the day quite difficult because I'm a retailer. So the fact that my shop opens at a certain time and closes at a certain time sort of structures my day for me. I have to be there to let my customers in and do what we do. And what I found difficult was not coming into work, trying to structure the day. So what now I've decided to do is because I'm far more productive in the office than I am at home, is I've come to work to an empty shop and I'm in my office at the back of the shop now. and when you talk about prioritizing stuff, I was saying to the guys the other day that this for some of us will become a business, and it's not a business until you make your first sale with your first product. Until that point, it's school, and what changes that is getting the first product. So my priority right now is to find that first product, and I've been through the modules, but I've got to put that aside now until the product exists, and until that time, my full-time job is to find that product. So what I've done is to actually come into the office, because I find that's much more productive. The other thing I'd just like to mention is that the first thing I do when I leave this call is set the alarm on my phone for 5 to 5, so that I'll be here tomorrow, and I don't forget.
Very good. You know what? That's the environment where you work. So let's take every advantage we can get. You know, when you're in that space, it's showtime. So well done. Hey, is that a dog show? David, you got a dog?
Yeah, this is our puppy. Her name is Jasmine. She's about 5 months old now, and she's
Don't
really
forget your coats.
That is beautiful. Look at that, everybody. It's not even Friday, and we got a dog show going on over here. Well done. Thank you, David. Who else wants to share on this topic
because
today?
I'm a mom, I'm seeing in the comments.
I'm sorry, I'm going to mute Mercy. Go ahead, Kim.
Because I'm a mom and I'm seeing a lot of things in the comments about what do you do when your kids, I'm homeschooling, you know, and it's really hard to stick to a schedule. And my kids were fighting the other day about, no, you spend more time with her. You spend more time with her. And I just finally said, you know what? We're going to have office hours. You are going to have office hours with me. You will have from 10:30 to 11:30 or 10:30 to 11, and you will have from 11 to 11:30. And then that's their time to bring things to me. And then we do a touch base at the end of the day, because if not, there's just no way to stick to a schedule with kids, you know, Zooming and coming in, and I can't get my cello together. Oh, so, I mean, I love them, but it's really been hard. So if anybody out there has kids old enough to understand office hours, it's been a really good, and we make it very proper. So nope, would you like to come into my office? It's your office hour time. And they actually are finding it fun, and they make little lists of things to ask me, and it's actually really helped.
You know what? That is great, Kim. I got an idea, because I've had to do the same thing with my daughter, and of course my wife has had to do the same. So we say, look, mom and dad are working on this, and here's why. Here's the purpose behind all this. You know, like the stuff you want us to buy you, and like the live in a nice house and trips to, you know, Disney World and all this. So this is why we're doing this. So there's going to be a bit of, you know, time management involved in that. Here's how you can participate. Here's how you can work with us. Here's how you can contribute to the household. You see your room right there, right? If I have to clean the room, it takes away from the time. Now we have less time together, because now I'm cleaning your room for you. You could clean your room. In fact, you keep this room clean for a month, and you know that hamster you wanted, consider it done, right? So exchange. Kids want to exchange. Like the little boy who wants to help daddy change the oil on the car, right? Let him help. I mean, obviously you can't really help, but let him hand you the tools and do stuff like that. Kids want to be a part of that community in a contributory way.
Right.
So that's an interesting, you know, kind of game that you can offer them. So
Right.
Great topic, Kim. Thank you. I know we're not the only people dealing with that. So yeah. Good stuff, guys. We're 39 minutes in. We got to wrap up pretty soon. I see Donna Bollinger has her hand up. Hey, Donna. Donna?
Here it comes.
There she is.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, my sound isn't that great today. Thank you, everybody. I loved everything that everyone said and all your opening, John. I definitely feel like you're helping me realize I want to focus and hone in on a supplier that I feel will be cooperative. But and I've done all my product research, and I think it would be a slam dunk. So I was wondering if you could help me just with a little bit of the wording. This might, I don't know if it's off topic today, but definitely need to get it off my plate because I'm scared to hear no. So we are the salespeople for their product, correct? That's what we want to tell them. We would be selling, we would be helping them sell their product if they allowed us to, if they would allow what, they'll be our supplier and we sell for them on Amazon.
Yeah, and customers are good for business. We're in customer acquisition. Yeah, you make the product, we sell the product. You're happy, we're happy, right? So I don't know, maybe I'm missing the question. It sounds
Word it just like you just did.
right.
Like I just did.
Yes,
Okay. Be confident.
I'm proud of you, Donna. That was perfect.
Has anybody else had to have that conversation yet with suppliers? And
Yes, this is Bernadette. And there's a bunch of scripts out there as part of the training that the coaches and Chris and Sophie's team provided. So you might want to take a look at some of those scripts on
Yeah,
how to have discussions with suppliers.
where do I find those? Is it in the tools and resources? The script?
You can start there and maybe search Product University on supplier info or whatever. But it's out there in various places.
Okay.
Yeah, and I kind of basically stuck to the script when I reached out to the different suppliers.
Thank you, Bernadette. That's awesome. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Good
You'll
luck.
do fine.
Good stuff. Thanks, guys. Oh, hey, Rosnita.
Yeah. So I'd like to share part of my journey. So on indecision. So I was like looking around at trying to decide what to do, how to form my LLC, asking opinions from various people, how they did it, whether they did it themselves or through another company. And I found this was taking a lot of time. And so I decided to buckle down and do it. So I signed up with PCS, not cheap, but it's given me peace of mind because I know that it's been done properly and I've got it done. So I can move on to something else. So just as a piece of advice, those who just started, like me, I'm new too, just get it done and then you can move on to something else. And because there's just so much to do, you know? So I hope that helps.
Thank you, Rosnita. So now we're into a conversation about delegation. So that's something that's important, right? The actually getting entities and accounting and stuff like that. I don't intend to learn that stuff. That's not my wheelhouse. Okay. But other people, yeah. So I pay an accountant thousands of dollars a year to do the accounting. And so I can do what I do best, right? So well done. Well done, my friend. Guys, we're 43 minutes in. We got to wrap this up here. Any burning desires that you've just got to share? Adrian, hey, there's my buddy. Adrian, what you doing over there, man?
Hey, listening intently as always, John.
Yeah.
No, the one thing I wanted to add in, I think the 12-week yearbook is absolutely brilliant because it's a whole system. And in time management, the thing we haven't mentioned this morning so far is the measurement. Because they make it very clear, if you don't measure your steps as you go along, you can't correct the machine. You just get into a drift and then realize too late you've been drifting. So I think it's that measurement piece that's crucial. And that 12-week yearbook is absolutely fantastic. It takes you end to end, the planning, the setting the goals, and then actually measuring regularly. Hang on, did I do 80%, 60%? Only then can you fix any breakdowns. And that's a great book, I think. And I know you've mentioned it before many times. Yeah.
Very good. What gets measured gets improved. So well done, sir. Glad you're here. Are we good? Are we good to go? Can we get together tomorrow for Fun Friday?
John?
You guys? Yes, go ahead.
Hi, John. Martin here.
Hey, Martin.
Hey, just a response to Donna. Just to keep it simple, the manufacturer is developing products for us, and we're the sellers. They need us.
I love that. Thank you.
So if that helps you with some confidence there.
Big.
There you go.
I've gotten all the comments on chat too, and I'm screenshotting them, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, John.
Thank you, guys. we're going to go ahead and wrap up with that. Great meeting today. I'll see you guys here tomorrow for Fun Friday. Bring a joke, and and I will see you then. All right. Have a great day.
Leave the
Thanks,
room
John.
open. Bye.
Okay, I'll leave the room open. Don't stay
Thank
here all
you.
day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay.